What is creative visualization, and how could it be so pivotal in like your everyday life?
Well, it's a real personalized experience, but in a nutshell, our minds do not know the difference between something imagined or visualized and taking that action. Of course, your physical body knows the difference. So if you visualize yourself like pumping iron and then you don't pump that iron, you're not going to gain muscle. Well, actually, technically speaking, you can.
That's a good.
But that's a whole other full-blown podcast. But creative visualization is really about creating new. I suppose I'm the only person in my mind who would describe it like this, because I could describe the action, but the more important thing is the result. So for me, when you creatively visualize, the purpose you should do it is to understand you can create a new neural pathway. Neuroplasticity is real, so we have the ability through visualization to change or alter the chemistry in our brain. And again, I did the research on this. It depends on the person. It takes anywhere between a week and 6 weeks to create a new neural pathway. So what you want to do is close your eyes in a quiet, comfortable space. Some people can do it with their eyes open, but most people close your eyes and you'll just imagine in your head like a big giant cinema screen and visualize whatever it is that you want to get achieved, but as having already done it. And in your head, you turn up the control to make it big and bright, colorful and vivid, and add in sounds and texture. And like you mentioned, detail is key. And then in your head, this is what I advise people to do: jump into the picture in your mind and bring in the emotion that you've already achieved that. So whether that's running a marathon, whether it's having your own podcast, your own TV show, standing on stage, getting over anxiety. So you would visualize yourself as being confident, free from anxiety, whatever. And then, so that's the visualization part. And by doing that every single day, your subconscious mind will become the driving force necessary to take the action, because I'm all about action. Take the actions necessary to make that your new reality. So that's where the formula comes in. So your SW is your subconscious why. So if you figure out why it is that you want to achieve that thing that you want to achieve, that goal that you want to burst through, whatever that is, the subconscious why. So it's very simple to find your subconscious why. You just ask yourself why and what questions. Why, why? So for example, why is it? So for you, it could be, why is it that all of a sudden I want to set up my own podcast, and why is it that I'm doing some of the episodes in Ireland? Like, just as a silly example, for example, you answer the first answer that comes to your brain. You don't overthink it. You just bang, first answer. You put that down. Now you ask yourself a why or a what question based on that answer. And then you keep going. Now, you'll get stuck. If you haven't done this process personally, even though you might have put some deep, meaningful thought into your why, that will be your conscious why. So you're going to get stuck after 6 or 7 layers. Why? Because everyone gets stuck. Everyone gets stuck. But that's when the real work begins. And I always say to people, you have to go at least 10 layers, because when you go beyond 10 layers, you're entering into your subconscious mind. And that's when the real fun and the play begins. Because when you open up that portal, we're driven by our subconscious behaviors, and our subconscious behaviors affect our emotions, and our emotions are the driving force behind our whole life. So ultimately, finding your SW is key. And then the massive action that I mentioned, and then the subconscious attitude is the visualization. So that's my roadmap for success. And I call it equals GS, guaranteed success. And I look, I have thousands of people that I shared that formula with, and I don't know anybody who's followed the formula accurately and not gotten the GS, you know?
Amazing.